and welcome to this week's edition of World of Business, where we are here at the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show Exhibition Park, and His Excellency President Filipe Nyusi officially opened the 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, running from the 26th to the 31st of August this year. This year's show is running under the theme Cultivating Prosperity, Growing Business, Innovating for Change, and Nurturing Our Future. In the first segment, we're going to speak to a local entrepreneur who is involved in poultry production, and he's going to tell us more about the importance of poultry production in agriculture as the backbone of our economy. Mr. Tavarera, first things first, what is the core business that you are here for, or what is it that your company is involved in?
Thank you very much. Our company is involved in poultry business, but we normally centered on the broiler chicks only. And as per our breed is like we do a rose breed, which is 508. So that's our core business mainly. Yes, it's like we have got a lot of experience also on like layers and road runners and otherwise, yes, I can say road runners. For the sake of helping farmers, for them to benefit a lot, we do not leave no one or place behind. Moreover, you want to learn more about layers, we do help, but that's our core business. But the main product which we do is broiler, day-old broilers, which is the rose one, and 3508.
Speaking as an exhibitor who has come to showcase their products, and like you have said, there is now so much brand awareness. Looking at the time that you started until now, there's so many people that are embracing your brand. What would you say is the benefit or the advantage that is associated with this platform in as far as creating business synergies and connections is concerned?
This platform is very, very important because it's like we have a lot of interaction with other businesses so that we can be well known, and then at the same time I'm quite sure that it's an international level, which I'm believing that we will be also having sort of investors who will be coming in, and they can be also sure that it is happening in Zimbabwe. It's not somewhere that they can be also interested to come to Zimbabwe to put something very important in terms of investing. So I'm very happy that this is an evidence which can be seen by eyes with everybody, even the international community.
Okay, so now let's zero in on your initiative of poultry production. What's the contribution that you're making to the economy of Zimbabwe and the agricultural sector as a whole that other players or aspiring poultry productionists out there can learn from you?
Yeah, it's like we start from a small thing, which I'm quite sure we also, some of the farmers, they will be also learning from us as an experience which we have did before. And for the sake of also helping the indigenization, which has been said with the president, I'm very happy that as a company also who is doing the poultry industry, we start as indigenous as well, but we grow, and I believe we do promote indigenous, like all the growth point around Zimbabwe. We do go there as a sake of trying to promote the indigenization, which has been said by the president, and we leave no place behind as well, since we are going everywhere in and out of Zimbabwe itself.
So lastly, before we close off the segment, what are your final words or your words of motivation to the aspiring entrepreneurs as well, and also the agronomists and aspiring farmers, looking at the fact that agriculture is the backbone of our economy in Zimbabwe? What are your words of motivation to the listeners and the viewers?
It can happen. It can start with you. It can start with whoever can able to do in our own country, because we are open for business. It's open for everybody. So that's the only way I can say it motivates everybody. It's free. It's a free Zimbabwe and open for business.
Definitely, Zimbabwe is indeed open for business. That's the conversation we're having today with Mr. Tavarera, a local entrepreneur involved in poultry production. But you join us in the second segment as we speak to a local stock feed manufacturer. Stay tuned. Welcome to the second segment of this week's edition of World of Business. And like previously promised, we're now joined by a local stock feed manufacturer who is here to tell us more about their initiative. As we start off the conversation, can you tell us about your initiative and what has brought you to the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show this year? What is different this year that you think is different from the other previous years as well?
So the reason why we have decided to exhibit at this show is that we would like to promote our brand. We are there to support livestock productivity in Zimbabwe. We want to contribute towards the growth, the transformation and the sustainability of the livestock sector. And we are here to network with different stakeholders, to network with different farmers across the country, so that at the end we promote food security through usage of our products and services that will also help especially livestock farmers to increase livestock productivity.
Okay, so looking at your initiative, that is stock feed manufacturing, what would you say is the unique contribution that you're making to the economy of Zimbabwe, and why is it important to have initiatives like this coming into play, in the business environment, and also to exhibit on platforms like this one?
Okay, exhibiting on platforms like this one will give us a greater opportunity to also grow our business, as people usually want to deal with businesses that they trust. So we are working with quite a number of people across the livestock value chain, and starting from procurement of raw materials that we are sourcing some locally, whilst some we are sourcing abroad. Then we are also contributing towards the national GDP. So we are also contributing especially with uplifting of smallholder farmers, looking at this year's theme of cultivating prosperity, growing businesses. So we are there, we work with all farmers at different levels of production. So our aim is we want farmers, smallholder farmers, to view livestock farming as a business, not as a hobby. So it has to be a business that will improve their lives, thereby making them being prosperous. So we mainly do this through provision of our quality products, animal feeds, and also services. In form of technical support, we do provide technical support for free. So I can say we are contributing towards livestock productivity because we do this for free. We don't charge any consultants fee. We do this for free. Then we also do trainings. We train smallholder farmers, especially the smallholder ones, because we've seen that most of them, they face challenges in terms of acquiring adequate human and capital resources, unlike comparing with commercial farmers who have got sufficient resources to run their businesses. So smallholder farmers, for instance, if we look at those who are into broiler, some they face challenges of high mortalities, standard growth, poor uniformity. So for them to grow and for us to grow as well, because we grow because of their growth. So that's why we come in and train those farmers in form of groups so that they will reduce the challenges they mainly face, thereby increasing productivity and performance. At the end, also utilizing the resources that they have to maximize profits.
Okay, so now let's talk about this niche, stock feed manufacturing. How big is it in Zimbabwe? What more needs to be done to improve it? And what message would you like to send to other stock feed manufacturers out there in terms of the experience that you have had, what you have learned, and also your recommendations that you'd like to pass to the government, be it in terms of what needs to be improved or what needs to be implemented to support stock feed manufacturing in Zimbabwe?
Okay, I think as a stock feed manufacturing company, the main challenge that we are facing is on availability of raw materials locally, because at the moment we are importing the raw materials. So to make it easier for us to continue growing the businesses and supporting livestock productivity in Zimbabwe, we also need to make sure that there is abundance in terms of supply of locally made raw materials. Then to other stock feed manufacturing companies, all I can say that there is need to continue carrying out research and development in terms of animal nutrition that is there to match the current genetics of livestock here in Zimbabwe, so that if we've got the good type of feed or the right type of feed and then proper genetics suiting the climate that we have, we know seasons are changing. So the same applies with the genetics and also the need to come up with innovative solutions that best suits animal needs and requirements.
Looking at this year's theme, cultivating prosperity, growing business, innovating for change, do you have any future plans in terms of innovations? Are you going to implement more innovations, or what is it that the future holds for this company?
Looking at this year's theme, that also includes innovation for change. I can say that we are already innovating and coming up with new solutions to problems that farmers usually face, especially if we look at the dairy sector. We've managed to carry out some surveys. We've managed to collect some samples of refugees that we then sent to United States of America for analysis. The main aim why we did that was we wanted to come up with new feeds that best suits the needs of customers in terms of the refugees that they have. When using dairy feeds or when feeding, farmers have to feed the concentrate or the meal that we provide, then provide good quality roughage that will enable high milk yields to be obtained, as well as contribute to the quality of the milk. So farmers were having challenges in that they've been using the same type of feed, like the 18% dairy meal, throughout the year, but on different roughages. So they were also having fluctuations in terms of milk yield because of the poor quality roughages they would use sometimes. So we then ended up engaging, we've got a renowned nutritionist who is well known worldwide that we have engaged from South Africa, whom we are working with, and we now have a wide range of dairy feeds that we have. So these new dairy feeds are there to complement to the different types of roughages that farmers have. So this will help them reduce the cost of feed per liter of milk produced.
Okay. I'll have to cut you short on that one. But lastly, what are you looking forward to this year's agricultural show before it ends? I mean, we're talking about growing business, nurturing the future. We're talking about innovating for change. What are you looking forward to as the agricultural show comes to an end as well?
Okay, we are looking forward to getting more connections in terms of business. Creating synergies as well with others.
A very educational conversation that we've had here today with Mrs. Bridget Rusere, a local stock feed manufacturer, who was telling us the fundamentals surrounding this particular sector. But to join us again in the last segment as we speak to another local entrepreneur who is here to exhibit and is mainly into smart farming techniques. Stay tuned. Speaking of diverting from our conventional way of agriculture and farming, today we're joined by one young man, Mr. Mazaiwana, who is involved in smart farming techniques and is going to tell us more about his initiatives and what has brought him today to the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show. Mr. Mazaiwana, thank you so much for joining us, and it's our pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Next, what is it that your company is actually involved in that has attracted your attention to come and exhibit at the Agricultural Show?
Our company is specializing in the distribution of poultry products and equipments. We are talking of modern day products which include automated layer cages, automated incubators, automated drinking system. We are also introducing automated feeding system, and also we are also introducing smart way of slaughtering our birds once they are ready. We are introducing slaughtering corns. We are also introducing what we call the plucker machines, which is a conventional way whereby our smallest machine can pluck up to 6 birds per minute. So we are trying to move with time, we're moving with the technology as we are approaching the Vision 2030.
So speaking of achieving Vision 2030, if we look at our agricultural sector, it's like the backbone of our economy. Why is it important for farmers out there and also for modern day farmers to implement smart farming techniques when farming?
It is very important for our farmers to implement this smart way of farming, because it comes with a lot of advantages, which also saves them time and capital, because farming is a capital intensive project or program. So with the modern day technology, it also saves them some money, whereby, like for example, if we introduce to them the layer cages, which, for example, the one that accommodates 100 beds, it just needs a space of 3 by 3 meters, which is 6 square meters. But when you are doing that under the deep litter system, you need about 10 square meters. So we are saying you are able to save money, you're also able to save time, you just set your things and do other things while the project is still running in the background. So we are encouraging farmers to say, no, let's join hands in this initiative of modern farming.
So we have noticed with major concern that this year we've got a lot of exhibitors as compared to last year, which is actually an advantage.
Yes.
If you look at business connections and also creating synergies that are meant to even help improve our economy. Why do you think we have got a huge turnout this time as compared to last time? What has changed from the previous years and this year?
A lot has changed from the previous years up to now. One thing that I've noted that have made this show to be big as it is than before is the introduction of new players into the industry. We now have a lot of young entrepreneurs who have ventured into the industry, which was also added to the GDP of this country, and also the dissemination of information that has gone through over the past year. From the last agricultural show, information has gone all over to say, no, let's come and meet and discuss business and showcase our products, everything that we are doing. So I think that has pushed this show to where it is right now. The information which was distributed and also the emergence of young entrepreneurs who are hungry for success has pushed this norm to be where it is today.
Okay, so lastly, your message to aspiring entrepreneurs and also future exhibitors that are going to come and exhibit at the future agricultural shows. What lessons can you draw from this show before it actually ends, and also that other young people out there can learn from?
We've got a lot of inspiration that we've got from this year's shows. We've seen a lot of new products that were coming here, which we did not see last year. We've got a lot of young companies that are starting to grow. They've also got this opportunity to exhibit, which is also good. So my encouragement to those who are still there, who are still thinking otherwise, please, you need to join this organization on the next exhibition, which will be coming next year. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of information that you can get. There's a lot of exhibition experienced exhibitors will be here. You learn from them. I've been moving around, seeing new products, new people. It's just a big show. It's something else. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. A very educational conversation that we've had today with Mr. Lamek Mazaiwana, who was telling us more about implementing smart farming techniques in agriculture. We've come to the end of this week's edition of World of Business, where we witnessed and heard from the various exhibitors that are here to showcase that indeed Zimbabwe is open for business. Do join us again on our next episode as we continue to give you more business news. Pleasant viewing.